the ladders.
Welcome to the Hall of Flame Museum of Firefighting. My name's George Getz, president of the National Historical Fire Foundation. My grandfather founded the museum in 1961. In 1955, his wife, Olive, and son, Bert, gave him a 1924 American LaFrance as a Christmas present to drive children around their neighborhood in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. My grandfather quickly developed an interest in the history of firefighting and fire safety. Many of the pieces that you'll see today are ones that he collected. In 1992, my grandfather appointed me as successor to the collection to advance the programs here at the Hall of Flame. The Hall of Flame is the world's largest firefighting museum, with well over 100 wheeled pieces, thousands of smaller objects, and a large library of books, magazines, photographs, and other types of graphics. On exhibit are almost 90 fully restored pieces from all over the world, as well as art objects, uniforms, equipment, fire insurance marks, and operating fire alarm exhibits. We have apparatus from England, France, Austria, Japan, and Germany, dating from 1725 to 1961. We even have an English engine that spent its career in the city of Lima, Peru. The collection, however, is far from complete. We continue to add to the collection and the library. Almost all of the pieces have been restored here at the museum by Don Hale. After a career ending as an assistant chief of the San Luis Obispo, California Fire Department, Don came to work at the Hall of Flame in 1981. He covers every aspect of fire engines restoration, from bodywork and painting to engine work, upholstery, striping, and gold leafing. You will be able to tell which pieces Don has restored by looking for his signature on the rig. The museum has 4 exhibit galleries, a library, a theater, a gallery housing the National Firefighting Hall of Heroes. In Gallery 1, we have over 40 hand and horse-drawn pieces. You will find that most early fire engines, like this 1725 Newsham 5th size pumper from northern England, was pulled by hand. Eventually, they grew so large that the firemen were forced to acquire teams of horses, which of course required much more time and money to train and maintain. The volunteer fire companies, which grew so rapidly after the American Revolution, began a tradition of decorating their engines and horse carriages to compete with each other. And this tradition, only slightly more restrained, has continued into the 20th century. Some fire companies hired artists to decorate their rigs, and most apparatus builders employed gold leafing artists and carriage painters to make their products as elegant as they were utilitarian. This beautiful Jeffers fire engine, built in 1844 for the city of Pawtucket, Rhode Island, illustrates the high quality of these decorative efforts. But this was also a powerful fire engine, capable of pumping over 200 gallons of water per minute, with its crew of 50 firemen at the pump's handles. This American fire engine company, Metropolitan Steam Fire Engine, sold to the city of Reno, Nevada in 1904, shows the high state of fire engine decoration at the turn of the century. But probably the museum's best example of the firefighters' pride in their service is this parade hose carriage, built in 1870 solely to be pulled in parades by the proud members of the Hotchkiss Hose Company of Derby, Connecticut, complete with the company's motto, "To do good is our intent." European builders never really were caught up by this trend. Their rigs are nicely painted, but lack the high level of decoration sought by American fire departments. We have a small village fire engine that is of special interest to visitors from Chicago. This little 1865 Rumsey engine was owned by the volunteers of the Badger Fire Company of Centerville, Wisconsin, a small town settled almost entirely by German farmers. During the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, which burned about half of the city, the Badger Company firemen loaded their engine on a flat car and took it to Chicago to help fight the fire. This 1890 Howe, hand or horse-drawn fire engine, provided service for the citizens of Carrollton, Illinois. In 1941, it successfully put out a house fire in Carrollton, which marked its 51st year of being in service. Gallery 2 contains motorized pieces dating from 1909 to 1931. All of these pieces are of great interest, but I will mention a few of my favorites. A 1931 Aaron's Fox pumper from North Tarrytown, New York. A 1919 Mack Bulldog ladder truck from Baltimore, Maryland. A 1920 Seagrave pumper from Phoenix, Arizona. And a 1930 Moreland brush fire truck from Los Angeles County, which Gene Autry rescued from destruction and later donated to the Hall of Flame. Don has restored all of these rigs. Last but not least is this 1909 Brush Chiefs car from Owensville, Indiana. Top speed of about 15 miles per hour. Gallery 3 houses the rigs, which we sometimes drive in outside events, including my personal favorite of the museum's wheel pieces, a 1930 Aaron's Fox quad fire engine from River Forest, Illinois. My grandfather took great pride in driving this rig in the Fiesta Bowl parade for many, many years. In 1996, Don Hale restored it to its original factory configuration. This gallery also has some outstanding pieces from the 1940s and 1950s, including this beautiful 1951 Mack Model A fire engine from Tuxedo, New York. This 1941 Ford Howe from Sierra Vista, Arizona. And this 1961 Mercedes-Metz Unimog fire engine, which served 2 German towns on the North Sea coast, not far from Hamburg. In Gallery 4, this 1935 American LaFrance Model 400 Metropolitan fire engine from Norfolk, Nebraska, which one of our trustees, Mr. Bernie Lowe, recently donated to the foundation. This 1938 Seagrave Jr. aerial truck is perhaps the museum's finest motorized piece. It is completely original except for its reupholstered driver's seat. While you examine the wheel pieces, don't neglect the smaller exhibits, such as the collection of insurance company fire marks in Gallery 1. Our display of helmets and speaking trumpets is of considerable interest to our visitors. And the 2 operating fire alarm exhibits in Gallery 3 are also worthy of your attention. The display of over 3,000 fire department arm patches in Gallery 4 is very popular. We provide a printout of these patches and their locations to assist in finding an individual patch. The collection includes patches from all over the world. For visitors with children, be sure not to miss our fire safety exhibit in Gallery 4 with its many hands-on activities. Last but not least is a beautiful 1951 American LaFrance open cab Model 700 fire engine donated by the Volunteer Fire Department of Miami, Arizona. This rig, located in Gallery 2, is available for boarding by all of our visitors. Finally, I'm proud to say that the Hall of Flame now administers the National Firefighting Hall of Heroes, where firefighters who have died in the line of duty or who have been decorated for acts of heroism are honored. Firefighters are recognized on the wall of the gallery and in a large computerized database, as well as in an archive of personal records housed in the library. This is a very large project and one which will continue to be work in progress. Records of firefighters who have died in the line of duty prior to 1980 are very scattered. If you have any information on any firefighter who has either died in the line of service or decorated for bravery, please contact us so that we can continue to keep our records as accurate as possible. I would also invite you to become a member of the Hall of Flame. Membership information is available in the lobby. For further information, you can also contact us at www.hallofflame.org. Thank you for visiting the museum, and we hope you enjoy your tour.